Okay, so this is Magical Quest 3. It's the third game in the series, and it was only released for the Super Famicom. And it's probably the longer of the three games as well.
They did a GBA port, right?
Yeah, it's the only way to play this in English is to play in GBA. But I don't think it's actually very similar to this.
Oh, really?
At all, really. It's just the way the GBA plays. It's just a bit different. But yeah, this game is just really getting shit on by the bosses, essentially.
Yeah, the boss RNG is pretty strong.
Yeah, it's just a bit too strong.
So runs range from, what is it, about 30
Yeah.
to 33?
30 to 33. Well, it can be more than that.
Right.
But it depends how good your RNG is. If I got a 34, like on this run's 34, it'll be absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Here, you just want to try and jump along the tops of the water. There's like a few pixels you can do that on. As you see me, I've already been sinking like that. Doesn't lose a huge amount of time though, so it's all cool. But yeah, just wait for that crow so I don't get hit by him. You don't. That's hard. You just don't pull that because it's laggy as hell. And then this is the first like the first mid boss. So just try to avoid his feathers. It takes 3 hits. I should probably explain about why we play on easy. Easy is just the quickest. The bosses on hard take more hits, and you get less hearts. So it's just the quickest way to play. And here, he comes out and he talks, and then he goes back in. Basically, Donald is sort of like a second player. It's Mickey and Donald in this game, and they both get different costumes, and their runs are actually completely different. So it's not like Magical Quest 2, where basically it has Mickey and Minnie, and they get the same costumes. So they actually play completely different, and there's like different strats for them. Mickey gets like a different suit to this one. It's like a knight suit, and Donald gets, I don't know, like a barrel with a helmet. So
An amazing barrel.
Amazing barrel, yeah.
Really, right?
Yeah, that's a nice jump there. That jump can be hard to get. An interesting thing here is I remember because we did co-op runs of this, and Mickey sinks like a brick here, but in the water with this suit on, his equivalent suit. But Donald, he can swim, so. Donald's has an advantage in that respect. But Donald is definitely the more swaggy of the characters, as we'll see, because you got so much barrel swag. You can just barrel around all you want. Just do this. You can just fucking.
Wait, Donald?
Donald.
Dolan.
Dolan swag. Yeah. Move aside, Yoshi's Island. This is the new swag game. So this guy, he has 3 moves he can do. He's being great here. He's just spinning around in a circle. This is what I want him to do. This is the second thing he can do. He can drop these guys, which don't really do anything. And the other thing he can do is he can come close to me, and you just get hit. So I'm going to shut up here so I can try and do this, because it looks good when you do it correctly. So let's see. Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
And then you can just swag away. So yeah, another reason why this is so long is there's refights in this game and compared to like say Magical Quest 1, where I think the last level has fights, but you just don't do them. You can just go to the end. So there's going to be refights, and there's going to be a lot of cutscenes. And I'm hoping this is going to let me skip this, because recently, in practice earlier, it didn't let me skip those. It just played the full cutscene, and I was mashing start. So
remember, if you see text.
If you see, reset. Yeah, this run's garbage. So every sort of Magical Quest game as well has like a sort of climbing suit, and this game's climbing suit.
It's a really awkward climbing suit.
Yeah, it is, but it has some like interesting sort of tech to it. I mean, I'll sort of demonstrate what if we're playing casually, what you would do here with this suit. Let's see when it loads. I mean, it has this attack here, which is pretty cool. And that's the thing as well, is that Donald just walks, but when he's on slopes, he runs. So, this is what I'm talking about in terms of movement. That's the way you climb in this game. If you want to be fast, if you want to be slow as fuck, you just do this. But why would you ever do that? So, we got that. Just jump all across, you get momentum from those, and that's the good thing about it as well, is that you can basically, when you change direction in that, it gives you momentum, which we're going to try and use in this boss. This boss can be a bit trolly. It was a bit trolly earlier, and what's annoying about this here is that the screen is like a physical presence, so I can get knocked off the screen here, so I don't want that to happen. So I'll see if I can get this. So these orange balls are basically this code for slowing you down. So you want to be avoiding them as best as possible. The way to get them across is just to turn left. Do like Donald's like twerking animation or whatever it is. So this is like the easiest way to do this. So yeah, that was decent. What we'll do here now is the screen will move, and then we're moving faster here and we start to slow down. So that's like normal water jumping speed, but you can get a quick boost from spinning off that tree. So here, what screen is this? Yeah, here. You can get trolled here. There's be times where you just sort of hesitate so you don't get hit by anything. That'll be coming up in a second. Like those guys there, there'll be one, and I'll probably try to hesitate so I just don't run into the stick. So hopefully I can do this. Yeah, here. This guy, if you just jump off that there, you just run into that, and it's slower to do that. Here as well, this block has hearts in it, but it causes lag. So if you spin that guy, instead of jumping on him, it'll hit that block and it'll cause lag. So again, there's no point in doing that.
Everything pretty much causes lag.
Everything causes lag, yeah. There'll be more of that later on where we try.
Co-op is really, really laggy.
Yeah. So this boss probably has RNG, but we kill him before he can do anything. And as I've been saying to some people, this is sort of like weirdly sexual in some way. It's something you get a bit uncomfortable. But I mean, this is just literally B. Just holding B. He doesn't get to do anything. And then it'll be 1, 2, dead. And then you can just sit and shake your ass all you want. So yeah. And the bad thing about this game is that when you kill the boss, there's time after it, so you can still fall down there and die and lose all your lives. So it's not good in that respect. But yeah, more just sitting here. So the next level, you get the final suit of the game. It's like the magician suit, which really only has, actually it has 2 applications outside this level. Again, 1 character reset. So here, I'll take this slow again because if those guys, when you jump on them, they can actually boost you onto the platform above, which is usually here it happens. Okay, that's okay. So whatever one that is comes out and he starts talking. So then you change the suit. This guy's, the mid boss is just going to jump in here. So he jumps in, you just hit him. And this is basically the whole fight is just letting him come over here, standing here so you're as close as possible to him so you don't have to move forward to hit him. As soon as you start spinning here, you hit him again, and then the cycle sort of repeats. So we just continually do this over and over. And this is basically the quickest way to kill him. Yeah, and see, this is what happens if you do it too early. So you have to be careful. And fortunately, he hasn't moved because as soon as the boss moves, if he jumps away, like the fight becomes way more difficult because when he flies around with his head, like this is basically, he has RNG, this guy, but like he just does this over and over. So this is basically a fixed pattern. I know he's going to do this every time, but if I don't like hit him or I make a mistake, he'll go into something else, and then it's just, it then becomes a complete train wreck. So here as well, you want to position yourself about here. If you stand on the far right-hand side of the screen, after you kill this guy, Donald would walk over to a place and reposition himself. He's probably going to move slightly here. Yeah, so that's as close as you can really get it. So saves a bit of time there. And this is the magician suit, and it's a bit awkward. I think Mickey's suit's probably a bit better.
Mickey's is easier, yeah. They do the same thing,
yeah.
But the animation on Donald is...
Yeah, I remember from playing co-op.
Yeah, it's really wonky.
This here, okay, that's good. If you go into the quicksand just for a slight bit too much, it can muck up that there. So, yeah, that's pretty typical to happen if you make a small mistake. So this is what I mean, is that you sort of have to. You'll see it better here. When you're up the slope here, you try to shoot here because if you shoot here, you miss him, and you're standing right in front of him. So this screen is the first screen of Death Abuse. It saves those that are like little spiky like piranha things are basically they become like platforms. Okay, that's fine. Usually I would take damage there and then just run through him, but that's fine. We'll have enough lives. Hopefully for the rest of the run. So we get a life here, and then we just lose it. So this is intentional. And again, there's the plants I was talking about. You sort of create platforms, and that's just way too slow. So you just do it that way.
Yeah, it's nice they use the balloon
Yeah,
method in this game.
Yeah, the balloon's cool. So this is automatically not the best in RNG. What you want him to do is do the whirlwind attack. And today he's just going to do this. So we're just going to stand in the corner here. Oop. So basically there's a sort of timing for this where you know you turn around, so like that. And now you just sort of just let him just swag away. So yeah, that was decent, that fight. The next level is the level which has the annoying fights. And unfortunately, there's one of the fights, it's the mid-boss of the upcoming level, and unfortunately, he's a refight. And you can just waste so much time. It's actually ridiculous. So, fingers crossed, but RNG is what it is. And these wee smug fuckers here as well. They're quite annoying. So, I'm just going to change the hammer here just to clear them out because I've already lost a life which I shouldn't have lost, and I don't want to be knocked off the edge. I especially remember during our co-op rounds of just both of us just getting knocked off this.
Yeah, it's really easy.
Yeah.
I mean, we were kind of still learning it when we did it.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Right, it scrolls quite slowly, and that's the only time you get to see that guy in the game. That guy there, parachuting. It says it scrolls slowly and they're coming down, so you can just jump up into them and just get knocked off the edge. And it's not really ideal at all. Yeah, go ahead, donations. It's just an auto-scroller.
Yeah, we have a $5 donation from Ugasm, who says, plop.
So here there's going to be another Death Abuse. What we basically do is we'll wait for, there's going to be a guy coming up here on a platform. And we're going to jump onto him, and then we're going to wait for another platform. When he gets about halfway up the screen, we're then, so it's easier just to show it. So it's going to be halfway up here, and then we're just going to walk off. And we're going in here, so you can actually cancel out of the balloon, so that's that. So, worst boss incoming.
I'll have to count the jumps.
Please play nice. So
I'm gonna thank the game.
I will thank the game. This guy. So basically, he shoots them out, and you need to time them, and this is what you don't want them to do, and he can just spend like 5 minutes just doing that. And you can shoot out cannonballs, you can shoot them at varying heights, and it's when you get towards here and he decides to shoot the cannonballs, it's more awkward because there's different timings as to when you shoot. And you can shoot out one cannonball, you can shoot out two cannonballs, like such, which I missed. And if you get hit by him, or like he stamps on top of you, it's quite awkward because then you're trying to reposition yourself, and then when he stamps on you, he then decides, oh, I'm going to shoot out about 50 cannonballs in a row, and you're trying to friggin' get around to hitting him, so it's not ideal. So that was okay. I mean, took one hit, but yeah, it's fine. So the next boss is just at the end of this screen. So we'll just better just to wait for them. You find when you try to jump over them, you just get hit. So in this boss, I am going to take hits. This is like the mode 7 boss, where it has a tilting floor, and unfortunately, it has a weird sort of thing where the floor like has to tilt. Like if you kill the boss and the floor hasn't tilted in a while, it has to tilt before you can exit the level. So you're just standing there. So you just sort of, you hit, this guy has 2 attacks. He has this and he has shoot, which hopefully he'll do because shoot is so much faster. The problem will be now. This is where it starts to get difficult because I might just wait. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait so I don't get hit. Just roll into him. So this becomes difficult when he decides to jump and the floor is tilting, because then you can't really reposition yourself that well. Oops. What?
How did that not?
Yeah. See, this is what I mean. He's dead, but it's tilting, so I'm just having to stand here and wait for this to finish. So, no, it was fine apart from that. It's pretty common for it to tilt at the end, but yeah. So, next level is water level. And every game needs its own water level. So, we'll just wait through all this crap to get started. So on the next screen, we need this suit. So we'll just change now. It actually makes it easier. Yeah, you can go ahead with the donation. This is this water stuff. Actually, I'm actually going to go down. Oh, there isn't a donation. Okay.
Yeah, we have a $10 donation from Kaitan's AT with no comment. Thank you so much.
So, the bubbles are kind of useless because when you get hit, you just refill. It just refills your air anyway, but it's probably better actually just to get them because taking damage is a wee bit slower. But I mean, if it comes down to it, it's okay to do that. I mean, this here is just a wee bit unusual as well. I'm taking a bit of an odd route here. I've never taken this route in my life.
This is brutal in co-op.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, not great.
Everything's twice as small. Or twice as slow.
Yeah, I actually forgot about that. Yeah. It is quite laggy. Co-op's like a different beast altogether.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had offered co-op, but with no time really to practice, and it would have been a complete train wreck.
Yeah.
When you live across the Atlantic from each other, not the easiest to practice.
No.
So these crabs are a bit annoying. There's going to be 2 instances in this level where they can cause lag, or I'm going to hit into them. So it's this guy here. I can spin him off into those bricks, but lag. So we're just going to ignore him. We're just going to wait for him. And coming up is a guy who can be positioned badly, and you can just fall into him. Hopefully that won't happen, but again, there's just no textures for those platforms. So yeah, it's that guy there. You can be positioned at the bottom, you just jump into him and fall off. But here's the boss. This level doesn't have a mid-boss. This boss is Octopus Guy. Octopus Guy, again, can waste time. If he does this, it's completely useless. He can put his tentacles out, which is completely useless. And he can do that in like 3 different ways. So he needs to basically hit his head. I didn't really say, but like this costume is basically the best costume. So, I mean, you can just... it's the best because it does the most damage. It's the best because you can just roll around in it. Which is... But I mean, this boss isn't hard. It's just waiting for him to be cooperative. And again, that's what I was saying, you know, it's just really, this is just such an RNG dependent game. You can play the levels perfectly and you just get to the bosses and you just get completely just wrecked. So it makes like grinding for a good run quite difficult. Because I've had fights where he just came in and did that 5 times in a row, and then you get fights like this where he just does this. So, okay, that's bad. It'll be 1 more hit after this. Oh, okay.
Well, that was nice.
I do your favorite thing, Millie.
Yep, it's the best.
The best. Just chill in the barrel. So there are 2 levels left. The next level is pretty short, and then the second level, the last level, is really long. There's 2 refights, 1 new boss, and then the final boss. And the final boss can be really trolly as well. In fact, most of the bosses can be really trolly. So this is just jumping along, clearing the icicles or the snowflakes. And I usually hit this one, so I'm going to be careful. And that guy. It's so easy just to walk into things in this. Or the hitbox and the hammer can be a wee bit wonky sometimes. I think it was actually happened earlier. I was hitting stuff and it didn't. Nothing happened.
On the tilting boss.
On the tilting boss, yeah.
Yeah, very suspicious non-hit.
So here, what you really want to do is you want to be positioned on the right side when you're jumping here to go as quick as possible. And again, you just sort of use the momentum from jumping. This jump here has been quite a bit trolly recently. Oh, okay, that's great. So I want to be on this side, just momentum across. I mean, you're meant to jump on each of those, and I usually run into him, so that's great. This boss, he can waste a lot of time if he moves around too much. And again, we use this costume, so this is very reactionary. And hopefully he'll just jump and stay in the same spot. But it's sort of like the mid-boss, or the sort of like the skeleton, sort of like goat creature. Because you want to be as close to him as possible. He can shoot out like a whirlwind, and it'll like cancel it immediately if you're in the barrel form. So yeah, he's moving away. So okay, fine. And that's what I was talking about. Normally that turns into a snowman. Okay, he's just staying in the same place. You sort of do have to move anyway, in case he does, because then he just lands on top of you. No. Okay. Suits me. Yeah, this is what I mean. Exactly what I mean. And now I'm a snowman. Again, he's moving. The worst thing he can do is move to the right-hand side of the screen, because then he's really difficult to hit. And that's him. So you can just roll around some more. Enjoy that. And it has some nice ending sprites for the end of the level. So again, as I was saying, the next level is the final level, and lots of refights. So
it's really long.
And it is really long. It's some like 6, 7, 8 minutes. So pray to RNG Jesus. So here there's 3 lives, which we're just going to lift because we probably won't need them, but there's a death abuse I'll probably attempt later. This bit here, it's literally just walk into the fire and just tank all the damage. There is no strat for this. And this is the next worst part for co-op, from what I recall.
Yes.
This is an auto-scroller, which you can actually trigger. You trigger it yourself. As soon as you get onto here, it starts scrolling. So, again, that's...
Yeah, it's just tricky to coordinate in co-op.
Yeah. So fortunately, this is the last auto-scroller. There's some hearts here we still grab. But yeah, there's just like a set path we take here. There's a guy here you can sort of manipulate. He's going to come out of the fire in a wee second. This guy here. You want to stay here sort of in the middle for most of the time. So he doesn't come over here, because then he just hits you, he knocks you into the fire, and that's a life gone. So it's easy to lose a lot of lives here. Like ridiculously easy. Yeah, go ahead, donation. They're always doing the auto-scrollers, it's great. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got a $10 donation from Novra Splice, who says, "Greetings from Wales. Very sad that we'll eventually be leaving the EU, but very happy that I can still help out for such a great cause. Good luck to all the runners, and thanks for such a great event.
Yeah, it's kind of political. I shouldn't talk about that. My feelings towards that as a citizen of Northern Ireland. Shots fired.
By the way, Wales voted to leave.
Oh, I know. They're saying my opinions may not align very well. As a country who voted to stay. So, this guy again, hopefully sort of similar to what he was before. Okay, that was bad. I was probably standing a bit too far away from him there.
Well, that's a less bad jump.
Yeah. Yeah,
Those-
back's better than forwards towards you. Yeah, this is pretty close again. Here we go. Yeah, this is what I mean. Okay.
It was the last one too.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah, it just had to be.
Hmm.
So coming up is a platform which can be. There's a cutscene here, but coming up is there's a platform which can be quite uncooperative. So hopefully it is. It's this guy here. Sometimes you can do this and he won't move. Like just at this exact time. Oh wait, okay. Right, what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna death abuse. I'm just gonna kill myself because there's no point waiting, trying to manipulate him again. It's too slow. The only thing you could really try to do is manipulate that ghost up there, but he's too far away to do. So I'll just do this. Waste time, but unfortunately it's the way it is. So we can just balloon up, and this is intentional hit here. So this is the refight with like the sort of like pirate captain guy. Fortunately, the screen doesn't tilt here, so it's considerably easier. Yeah, so this is what you want him to do.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. It's decent. Now it really is just boss after boss. So this is a new boss. He isn't too bad. Unless he starts to drop fire. You can't hit him when he does that. You need to let him do that. And then you can just start hitting him. So you just try to hit him in the air from now on. Oops. Facing the wrong way. So yeah, that's what I don't want him to do because, especially when he's into the cauldron, because it's quite difficult to see where he's dropping him. And again. And again. Right, please stop doing that. Okay, so now it's the final boss. And the final boss is sort of, what he does is dependent on what suit you're wearing. But here, what he's going to do, he's going to drop like this giant log down. I don't really understand what the purpose of it is, as sort of as like a casual sort of, or a way to attack you, but it's just killing time. So this is the object in question. And then he starts dropping these fire guys. It is slower if they do set fire to that, so let's try to get rid of them. But sometimes, as you can see, that happens. He just spawns on top of it, and it makes it a bit more awkward to actually attack him. And you can spend time just walking backwards and forwards as well, unfortunately. Okay, so this is going to be the second phase. So he just basically walks around to adjust himself. And here, basically, he's going to start shooting at more fire guys, and there's not a lot of room to maneuver here, but you can't attack him when he's doing that. It's only like 6 out, like a sort of snake cane sort of thing. Then you jump on that and you can hit him. The problem is that he doesn't really do it that often if there's like no fire guys. So and the hitbox for this is terrible as well. So it's really trying to avoid the fire guys. You don't want to kill them. So you try to let them spawn them on. That's time. Sorry, I should have said. So yeah, just swag it all up.